Welcome, everyone, to a sold-out Alumni Hall here on the campus of St. John's, where tonight, one team that's going to the NCAAs for sure, and another that thinks it probably will go, are about to do Big East battle the St. John's Redmen and set to take on the Providence College Friars. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Gorman along with Ron Perry. Welcome to what should be a good night of basketball. Some good news for Providence College fans to start off. Eric Murdoch, who had to sit out the Georgetown game with some scary heart problems the other night, is now back, appears to be healthy, and has got the go-ahead from doctors to play tonight. Now, Murdoch, one of the best players, sitting down the other night. Providence desperately needed someone to step forward against Georgetown, and Ron Carlton-Screen stepped forward in a big way.
Well, when those kind of things happen, really good players tend to step to the forefront, and Carlton-Screen did that and proved his greatness against Georgetown with 29 points, 10 assists. He had a number of strong rebounds in that game and really just took charge as he dished the basketball off with some tremendous passing plays, set the table for people, ran the floor extremely well, and didn't turn the ball over against the Georgetown pressure. He's also a guy that took charge with a lot of fine offensive plays from three-point territory, some penetrating runners, and all in all took charge as Providence shot over 50% in that game, and they'll need his penetration tonight to get out and run and push the basketball the way Providence would like to.
St. John's, of course, an interesting basketball team. They have lost Jason Williams, their potential All-American. They played early in the season without him, did well. Jason came back. He went down with the injury again, and now it belongs to Boo Harvey to step forward. And the other night, Boo showed his stuff against Seton Hall.
He really did, with 40 points in that ball game, and just, you talk about Screen taking charge. We've got two of the finest point guards in the league and perhaps in the country in Screen and Harvey tonight. Harvey had 40, dished the basketball off, and he can really get into some exciting plays as he does there. Over to Malik Sealy with an exclamation point. Boo Harvey really getting it done, taking charge with Jason Williams down. And the thing he's really done this year to improve his overall game, he shoots the basketball more, and he's got much better range. He can hit the three-point shot. And I look for him in this game. If it does get open, it really could be exciting because St. John's traditionally likes the half-court set. But Providence, if they can hit early, may get this game into an up-tempo affair.
Providence College against Georgetown the other night really came up and just fired away, Ron. Can they do that again tonight?
I think they can. They'll have to come out early, though, and hit a few, Mike, to be successful with it.
All right, let's see what happens. Should be fun here at Alumni Hall. Providence College thinks they can make the NCAAs with a win here tonight. We'll be back with the lineups after these words from your local station. Welcome back once again, everyone, to Alumni Hall. Mike Gorman along with Ron Perry getting set for a Saturday night of Big East basketball. St. John's and Providence College about to go at it. Let's pick up the starting lineups with our public address announcer tonight here at Alumni Hall. That's Jim Hall himself.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Alumni Hall at St. John's University for tonight's Big East game between the Providence Friars and the Redmen of St. John's. Let's greet the starting lineup. At the forward position for the Friars, a 6'5" senior from Columbia, Maryland, number 15, Quinton Perkins. And for the Redmen, a 6'7" junior from the Bronx, New York, number 33, Billy Singleton. Providence, a 6'10" senior from Bronxville, New York, number 30, Marty Conlon. And for St. John's, a 6'8" sophomore from the Bronx, New York, number 21, Malik Sealy. At center for the Friars, a 6'11" senior from Staten Island, New York, number 25, Abdul Shamsuddin. And for the Redmen, a 6'11" sophomore from Sunnyside, New York, number 41, Robert Wardan. At guard for Providence, a 6'3" junior from Milford, Connecticut, number 33, Chris Watts. And for St. John's, a 6'2" sophomore from Syracuse, New York, number 12, Jason Buchanan. For the Friars, a 6' senior from Brooklyn, New York, number 11, Carlton Screen. And for the Redmen, a 6' senior from St. Albans, New York, number 3, Boo Harvey. The head coach of Providence is Rick Barnes. and of St. John's, Lou Conaseca.
So we're just about set to go here on a Saturday night. Providence 6-6 in the league. St. John's 8-4. Back with the opening tip after these words from your local station.
Pristine beaches, unspoiled fire.
Down an 8-point win over Seton Hall, 68-60. And Syracuse upset by the Irish of Notre Dame. Elmer Bennett, a three-pointer at the buzzer. 66-65. The Irish beat the 6th-ranked Orangemen. And as the players get to know each other again, Abdul Shamsuddin, Robert Wordan will jump it up in the middle. We see the matchups down the line. Chris Watts starting in a guard spot for the Friars. Eric Murdoch expected to be in early. And here we go. Jason Buchanan and St. John's control the tap. Buchanan taking it right to the bucket, and he gets the bounce.
Providence opened into man-to-man defense, and Buchanan, normally kind of a quiet, off guard with Harvey, not afraid to go right at it.
Boo Harvey's out there on screen. And a quick hands by Buchanan nearly took it away from Watts, but Conlon there for the loose ball.
St. John's will play mostly man-to-man tonight.
Burton can't get it up down low, and Wordan come away with it. Shamsuddin gets it stripped back by Harvey. Right side, Buchanan. Singleton on the baseline. Billy trying to make his way in. He's hit by Carlton's screen on the way by. First foul on screen.
Brian foul on number 11, Carlton Screen.
Billy Singleton really having a nice year this year. Lou Conaseca, of course, 22nd year, 480 Ws. What a career.
And we talked off the top how Jason Williams is down with the injury. And this really becomes Boo Harvey's club now, number 3 with the basketball.
I think he knows it, Mike. He's got to take charge. He's got to get some points up there.
Wordan fighting hard underneath for the rebound, and it's tipped out of bounds by one of the Friars. St. John's will keep it.
And, Mike, that can help a player like Harvey, because when Jason Williams was out there, as good a player as Jason is, it probably took some of the things away from Boo Harvey that he would do, particularly offensively. So he's got the green light.
Harvey outside, can't hit the 3. Conlon clears. Screen looks for the quick push. He finds Burton on a wing.
Quentin Burton played very well in the Providence win over Georgetown, had 21 points, runs the floor very well at the small forward spot, and can also hit the jump shot.
Buchanan looks inside for Wordan, and that Shamsuddin with the big block and comes up with the loose ball. Screen, little pull-up J for 2.
And that's what Screen does very well. This Providence off their defense, looking to push the basketball, and Screen always seems to get it right down around the foul line area, and he can stick it.
Boo Harvey on a wing looking for Wordan. Right then, Abdul Shamsuddin, the quick hands, and Boo Harvey, a reaching foul on Carlton Screen.
Well, those are the two fellas we talked about at the beginning of the game, Boo Harvey and Carlton Screen. And again, it's Providence's defense. Screen with the excellent handle on the ball. Harvey trying to pick, and then eventually coming up with the reach foul. But two very quick guys used to doing that sort of thing to each other.
And Screen, not the guy you want to put on the free throw line. It is the guy Rick Barnes would like to see on the free throw line, as he's up there amongst the league leaders in the Big East.
Well, in Big East play overall, he's 88%. In Big East play, he's been hovering right around 93 to 94% all year long. This has gotten into the free throw groove and hasn't gotten out of it all year long.
Wordan comes down with the rare miss from Screen. Buchanan, nice move on Watts, leaves it for Wordan.
Providence so far not in full court pressure, but they're very aggressive out of their half-court man set, sagging down somewhat, trying to invite the outside jump shot.
Malik Seeley's turnaround, and Shamsuddin is coming up big here in the first 2.5 minutes.
I'll say, along with Conlon, they're only allowing St. John's one shot each time.
Conlon couldn't control the pass, but Burton takes it down.
Got to have your hands ready when you're out there with players like Carlton Screen and Boo Harvey.
Quentin Burton for three. Back rims it. Rebound to Harvey. Malik on the wing. Knocks down a jumper. Malik Sealy, his first bucket. It's 5-4 Friars. Shamsuddin runs the floor well, and Screen finds it.
I have to say, early in this game, this is the kind of pace that favors Providence. They like to push the ball. They're off to the good start that we talked about. And St. John's is a team that would prefer to be more deliberate, but they're putting it up quickly tonight.
Worden gets the roll.
Beautiful feed by Boo Harvey, and Worden does the rest. Both teams trading blows early in this one.
Here's Watts outside, now Screen. Screen, a little drive to the hoop. Can't get the pull-up down. Big rebound underneath, back up, won't go from Dean.
Tough angle for Shamsuddin that time as he faded away, but Providence asserting themselves at both ends off the boards.
Buchanan, tough shot. Tip from Sealy won't go down, out of bounds, and it went off Shamsuddin, I believe, but we'll get a timeout. 15:49 left to go here, first half. 7-6 Friars. Alumni Hall, Lou Conasecker in front of his club, and last time these two teams met, Rick Barnes was dealt a home loss at the Providence Civic Center, 83-75. Jason Williams coming up big in the game. Carlton Screen had a solid game, and he's off to a solid start here tonight. St. John's 7-1 against the Providence College Friars here in Alumni Hall, but that one win was a big one for PC. Watts gets the top of the screen, top of the key right in the screen. Good bounce pass down low, and Shamsuddin gets two out of it.
Conlon is an excellent passer. He likes to go up top, even though he's the center for the Providence Friars, and he likes to see over people. That time he threw that like a backcourt man with the bounce pass.
Some fans may be surprised not to see Providence College pressing, but Rick Barnes really doesn't like to press against teams that have great point guards. And Boo Harvey qualifies in the great point guard.
But one of the things you do is you open yourself up there to Boo Harvey in the open floor where he can be so creative. Nice steal.
Providence will still up-tempo the game whenever the opportunity, and that's a travel on Carlton Screen as he ran around.
Jason Buchanan made an excellent play that time to anticipate and get in Screen's path, forcing that turnover as you look at Rick Barnes, who's going to be up on his feet most of this game. Luke Carnesecca will be up as well, likes to get into the crouch. Active coaches.
He's up on that Ted Valentine, really, I'll tell you that, one of our officials. Singleton can't hit the little jumper, and Shamsuddin is there again.
Providence really asserted themselves off the boards. They were out-rebounded in the Georgetown win, 51-29, yet still won the game with great outside shooting, a lot of threes. Boy, does Conlon want it down low, he should get it. He was wide open.
He bumps off Worden, tries to come back around, gets a foul line extended. Goes up with the shot and knocks it down.
Marty Conlon looks crisp early, and Shamsuddin off the board. So the big guys for Providence doing the job.
Friars by 5 here, 11-6 in the sellout crowd at Alumni Hall. Very quiet. Boo Harvey. Little pull-up jumper, no.
Defense by Screen that time, bothering Boo Harvey, forcing him to change his shot in midair.
Screen again with that back and forth crisscross dribble. Watts got a little room baseline, long with the jumper. Loose ball to Harvey. He's got Sealy and Singleton with him. It's a 3-on-3 break. Boo tries a three. Loose ball saved in the corner by...
Oh, nice save. And he's up in midair and picks out a teammate to throw it to. Under control.
Conlon.
Providence looks the crisper of the two teams early in this one. They're out and running, ready to play here at Alumni Hall.
We've got a timeout, 13-6, back after these words from your local station. Back at Alumni Hall, Providence College on an 8-2 run to take a 13-6 lead.
Well, there's been some wild action early in this one with both teams looking to shoot the ball quickly. It was a great save here by Burton. Providence has clearly been more aggressive early, quicker to the basketball. That was a great hustle play and save by Burton. Lucarnesecca, I'm sure, talked that over and is looking for more aggressiveness out of St. John's, reflective in St. John's shooting early in this one, and Providence is shooting much better off to the early lead.
Lou Harvey having trouble finding the range. Wordan, a good follow, though.
How often do you see that out of a timeout, too? Robert Wordan with a good, strong play inside.
Eric Murdoch and Greg Bent with the ball top of the key have checked in for the Friars. 12:45 left to go here first half. 13-8 Providence. Good pass down low. Bent was shut off by Wordan. Screen, though, buries a three outside.
Now, that's what's making Providence tough to defend right now. The big people, when they get bottled up, push it back out, and the guards can hit those shots.
Screen comes to double Buchanan. Inside to Singleton. Tough shot. Wordan fighting for the rebound. It's taken away by Bent. But Bent committed a foul. Providence has got some depth, so they've got some fouls to race, and they won't hesitate to do it.
A lot of action this time. St. John's is getting an effort inside from Wordan. They haven't had too many second chances. That time Wordan threw his work. Fouled on the play. Tony Burr about to get taken down by Eric Murdoch. Made the call on Greg Bent.
Just the second team foul. Only 3 fouls called in the first 8 minutes of this. Wordan gets the roll on a turnaround, and Roberts out of the blocks quickly with 6. Screen to set the offense. Sean Muto has made his way up to the scorer's table. He'll be the first sub in for Lucarnesecca.
St. John staying with the overplay man defense.
Bent, that's his shot. Won't go down. Wordan is there for the rebound. Outlet to Buchanan. He's got Seeley with it. Finds Malik. Burton got there for the block. Tipped out of bounds. It'll go back to Providence.
Clearly a game, though, where St. John's looking to push and play Providence's game, which is the up-tempo. Sean Muto gets into the act. Jason Buchanan on the same side of the floor this time as Seeley. Had he brought the ball more to the middle of the floor, he might have drawn the defense more, as Seeley's shot was deflected, and he then hit it out of bounds.
Inside, Bent kicks it out to Burton. Murdoch shooting first time. Rebound, Wordan. Lucarnesecca with Muto and Wordan playing at the same time, trying to get hold of this game on the backboards. And Bent, with his hands in the back of Wordan, is called for his second foul.
Bent at 6'8" will give up a couple of inches. In this case, 3 to Robert Wordan, as Lucarnesecca trying to establish some inside play in this game to get the defense down to open up the jumper for Harvey.
Boo lets it fly outside. Still won't go for him. Shamsuddin with his 6th rebound of the night.
Boo is leaving these shots on the front iron. Going to get a little more out of the legs on it.
Screen on the drive. No, they've got a reach-in foul outside. Boo Harvey gets his second. So Boo Harvey with 2, the only 2 St. John's has committed, as Rick Barnes and his staff talk over strategy. Marvin Sadler makes his first appearance for Providence. Then Bent has gone back to the bench. So is Shamsuddin. Conlon back in. This is the turnaround, and Wordan clears the boards. Boy's doing a great job on the defensive board for St. John's.
Really taking charge right now off the glass. Wordan, he's working on the offensive end as well. St. John's, see if they can get Malik Keeley a little bit more involved. He can really get explosive offensively.
Harvey on a wing, looking inside at Wordan. He wants the ball. Spins on Conlon, gets 2 more.
Oh, Wordan is having his way right now down in the low post. Providence can sag down and drop a couple of guys down. They'll have to do that against Wordan, although that opens things up in the perimeter. Both teams man-to-man, working double-stack offenses.
Murdoch finds some room in the baseline.
The way to break the ice with a tough shot under the basket. Murdoch seems to be moving fine out there. Missed the last game against Georgetown. Irregular heartbeat. Was taken to a hospital in Providence for overnight observation. practice, I guess, as of Thursday, Mike, and seems fine out there.
Malik Seeley knocks down a jump shot and gets a foul off Murdoch. So Seeley finally finds the range. That's 4 for Malik.
Both teams going right at each other. You can see Burton on the arm with the foul. And that's just good strength and concentration by Seeley as he gets himself his second bucket, finishing off with that one. Both teams are going right at each other. They're not pushing the shot clock too much early in this one.
The foul was on Quentin Burton, as the replay showed. His first, just his second.
Seeley, it seems to be posted those kind of numbers all year long with a couple of scoring, grabs and rebounds.
Got Sproling now in off the St. John's bench in the backcourt with Harvey. Sadler looking for help, threw away a bounce pass, and it's picked off by Muto. Long lead pass to Seeley. Bumped by Conlon, gets the ball back. St. John's will need to reset. Sproling now finds Harvey. 9:30 to go here first half. Boo, little pull-up for 2.
Well, that's a big-time one-on-one move by Harvey against a very quick man. There's a great matchup between Harvey and Screen.
18-16, a 6-point lead down to a deuce now. Murdoch, and they got Sproling with a reach-in foul.
Now, Rick Barnes wanted to jump out quickly in this game, and the Friars did. St. John's is hanging very tough right now, but again, I think the pace the Friars like because they're pushing it up and down, and maybe with Jason Williams out and Boo Harvey really running the show, he wants to push a little bit more now, too.
Jordan has gone to the St. John's bench. Muto moves into the middle. Conlon over Singleton gets the roll.
Both teams getting good balance. It seems that the big people on each side are allowing that entry pass, and both Jordan and Conlon able to make those moves seemingly without a whole lot of problems.
Murdoch's out on Sproling. Quick hands by Screen to knock it out of bounds. Carlton Screen's a very flashy player as Lou Conoseca looks on from the sidelines. Doesn't get credit, I don't think, Ron, for how good a man-to-man defensive player he is.
Very quick, and he'll be tested all night long against Harvey as he clicks again. As we talked about him, Mike, he's really improved that range on the jumper.
5 for Boo, a 1-point game. That's the 50th of Boo Harvey's career from beyond the stripe, setting the record. The strip underneath, loose ball Sproling, and a foul on Sadler, who couldn't stop himself.
Marvin Sadler seeing action early in this one. Marquise Bragg, who's been playing well for Providence at forward, out tonight with the ankle injury. Injured in practice this past week. As you look at Boo Harvey's number, St. John's record, he's quietly kind of packed them together, and this year he's really looked for it.
Sproling finds Boo on a wing, looking for Singleton inside. Turnaround, Billy Singleton, no, and they've got Malik Seeley with the push. In the rebounding action with Eric Murdoch, Seeley got caught. So the foul is starting to pile up a bit now. 5 on Providence College, 4 on St. John's after only 3 fouls called about the first 6 or 7 minutes of this game. Muto aggressively out on Conlon.
Showing a lot of arm action anyhow.
Crowd behind old Sean. Shamsuddin, the line drive hook shot.
Shamsuddin has really been effective early in this first half, rebounding and now showing that jump hook. He kind of line drives that in.
6 points and 7 rebounds, strong dude.
He and Conlon have really been effective down low. We talked a lot about Screen and Murdoch in the backcourt, but solid play inside for the Friars in this first half.
Good pass by Sproling inside. Singleton, though, can't get it down, and Shamsuddin is there to clear. Screen 3 times between the legs.
Oh, he's got a string on it.
Pulls up for 3.
Oh, what a play. That's confidence with the ball.
9 for Screen here in the first half, and the Friars push it back up to a 6-point lead.
We've seen a couple of guys here with Harvey with the ball. 2 guys that can really handle it.
I just let Boo and Carlton go one-on-one.
Clear it out. Open it up.
Harvey behind the Singleton screen. Gives it up to Seeley. Malik will try. Back rims a three. A nice position by Singleton, but he got stripped by Screen. Screen again. Look at him go back and forth there. Carlton wants it. He got it.
Oh, he's just taken over again, which is what he did against Georgetown. For minutes, individually took over the game, and that brought the Providence bench to its feet.
He's got 11. The lead is 8 now. Singleton nearly turned it over, then got it back for 2.
That's Singleton's first bucket, and he played well this year, particularly when Williams has been out. Oh, good look. Where's the defense that time for St. John's? Getting back.
8 points for Shamsuddin.
Several times in this first half, Providence has just beaten St. John's down the floor, and that's what Luke Carnesec will want to talk over.
29-21. The Friars by 8.
He's handling the ball with such great confidence, just putting it right in front of people and knowing that they can't take it from him here with the penetrating move. Got 11 in the first half already, seeing the floor very well and matching up in this first half against another tough one in Boo Harvey.
6 in a row for the Friars.
Rick Barnes is mixing it up, getting different people into the act in this first half.
Trent Forbes making his first appearance, number 20, where Dan back in. Can't get that one down. The rebound comes to the freshman Forbes. He pushes quickly. Tries to make a tricky pass, did, but traveled with it, according to Frank Scagliato.
That's one where you want to just bring it up, and as you draw the two people, use the bounce pass. A lot of quickness, though, on the part of Forbes.
Dan gives it up immediately to Harvey. Murdoch has got Boo now. Seeley open, can't hit. Murdoch, the quick push, goes by Singleton. Bounce pass, oh, good hustle by Malik Seeley.
Seeley's a forward, but he runs the floor extremely well.
Harvey now going to put on his own show, and Murdoch stayed home. Sproling can't hit from the corner, and Shamsuddin comes up with another rebound. And he averages 6 rebounds a game. He's got 9, I think, now in the first half.
Boxing out very well on that play. It came right to him. That's what the coaches tell you. If you box out and you're in good position, that ball will come right into your hands.
Inside, Conlon stripped by Singleton, got it back. No foul on the floor before the shot. Give it to Robert Wardan.
Conlon wanted it on the first move, sustained a pretty good body block. Up fake right here. There's a lot of contact, although there was a strip there, and right there's the foul on the floor. Good call.
Into Forbes, little baseline jumper for 2. So the freshman gets in the book. And the lead is 10 now, and Providence has dominated the first 16 minutes of this game. Harvey trying to shake Murdoch. Underneath, Wardan, the big follow.
Now there's a case where Providence boxes out, they're in good position, then they look at the ball when it comes down. Wardan just says, thank you, I think I'll stuff it.
That'll be Singleton over the back of Shamsuddin. First foul on Billy Singleton. 6th on the team.
33, Billy Singleton, his first, 6th on the day.
Luke on a second, hoping his club can make a little hay here while Screen is on the bench. He's been the dominant player so far. Conlon leans in. Count the bucket and a foul.
Oh, he's really using his pivot moves very well at the low post in this first half. Wardan is playing behind him, allowing him to catch the ball. That's just a great up fake crossover move with the feet, and he's able to coax it in with the English. Nice strong move by Conlon.
Marty, a good free throw shooter, as are all the Friars. Not a team you like to put on the line. 7 for Conlon now. 11-point Friar lead.
Well, they're having a strong shooting first half, and the rest of their game is coming together, and that's what Providence does best. Just go out and play and let the ball go, and it's working.
Harvey still can't get it to go down with any consistency. Wardan, a good hustle play, and it goes off Conlon out of bounds.
How about that by the 6'11" Wardan with the over-the-head pass Good hustle.
St. John's is going to take a timeout, 4 minutes straight up to go first half. And the Redmen are down by 11. Alumni Hall, as the Providence College Friars have jumped down to an 11-point lead, and the Plymouth player of the game to be selected at the conclusion of this game and during every game televised by the Big East Conference Television Network is all part of the Chrysler Corporation sponsorship of Big East basketball. Luke Arnesecco with that timeout. Seeley right to the hole, drawing a foul. And the Friars shooting the lights out as they did the other night against Georgetown.
The thing in this game for Providence is that they're really spreading it too, and that's got to give Luke Arnesecco some concerns defensively, because you go out against Rick Barnes' backcourt, Screen and Murdoch will dump it down low, and Conlon and Shamsuddin deliver, and if they're tied up inside, they kick it out. So Providence getting good balance.
Five points for Malik Seeley here this evening. Gets it back to a 10-point game. A marked improvement from his freshman to sophomore year.
I think in his overall game, he had an outstanding freshman year, but he's just been overall more comfortable. And a lot of that comes with just getting a lot of games under your belt. Screen back out there. I didn't think he'd sit for too long away from playing.
They can sit him at all the way he's been playing.
That's right.
Shamsuddin trying to keep it alive. Singleton flipped it out, but it came right to Watts. Screen gets it to Conlon. Burton on the baseline. Count it in a foul.
That's excellent interior passing that time. Not only to get the ball down to Marty Conlon, St. John's is not taking those cuts away, allowing Providence to get it in great positions like this, and those kind of double passes hitting Burton on the cut are what can really hurt you when you allow those players to go to the goal.
Friars have not done much wrong in this first half.
No, they haven't. I think they know they came up with a huge win in a game they had to get against Georgetown. They feel they have to put a run together right now to get themselves into the tournament. So they're sort of playing that way, like they've got nothing to lose and they've got everything to gain. So they're really out, letting it go.
Boo Harvey trying to find a way, and does.
Knifes through there somehow. Tough shot over the head.
7 now for Boo. Foul off the ball is going to go on Abdul Shamsuddin, battling with Billy Singleton down low. Second on Shamsuddin. And both teams are over the limit, so we're going to shoot some free throws. Billy Singleton will go to the line. Rick Barnes didn't like that call. The 6'7" junior out of the Bronx steps to the line. Third point of the night for Singleton. Cuts the lead to 9 with 3:04 to play here first half.
Billy Singleton has been a tremendous role player this year for St. John's. Started the first 10 games when Jason Williams was out with the stress fracture. Then he filled in when Williams came back, and now Mike just gets back out there and starts and does what he has to for St. John's to win.
Great high school player in New York City. Had some knee troubles, but it's nice to see no longer the knee brace is on.
Conlon really bringing Wardan out from the goal now.
On the nice catch, trying to make the pass to Shamsuddin, and Singleton got a hand in there. Providence really looks to make that extra pass, don't they, Ron?
Yeah, they do. If they get it down low, I think they look to make the pass from big man to big man. If they're doubled up, they're very good at kicking it right out for the jump shot. They're just not hesitating with the ball. As soon as they have an opening, every player seems to be confident to go with it.
Screen, the penetration. Runner doesn't get down. Another rebound for Wardan. Outlet to Harvey. He's got Seeley with him. Boo, and Conlon got him from behind. Got the ball, that is. Inside to Seeley for a turnaround. That won't go. Conlon clears that miss.
Good defense by Providence. They really had St. John's outnumbered that time.
And again, Shamsuddin beats his man down the floor, and he couldn't get it to fall down. Luke Arnesecco ran down the end of the bench and jumped in someone's lap.
I think he felt that Shamsuddin, he might have a case, got away with a walk on the pump fake under the basket.
some people in street clothes down the end of the bench are just in stitches because they ended up with Louis in the lap.
One of them down the end there was Jason Williams at the end of the bench in street clothes. I'm sure he'd much rather have his uniform on. I think Alabalbo was down there, the assistant coaches.
Worden. Nice move for two. Boy, Bob Worden has had a big first half. He's got a dozen, averages only 9 a game.
The kind of thing where he knows he's got to get some points in this one. He's getting it done.
Worden got the steal and is called with the foul. And the St. John's fans and St. John's bench has a pretty good case there. Conlon pushed off on Worden. When they were both going for the ball, the official didn't see it and, as usual, caught the second one.
That's exactly what happened there, is Louis all over this play. Now, you don't see the nudge by Conlon. Now, there's clearly a foul there as Worden crashes in. Ted Valentine right in on the call.
12 points and 9 rebounds for Worden, who has had a big first half, and Marty Conlon caught a bit of a break there and will have a chance to turn it into a couple of points. Woke the crowd up, though.
A lot of times what happens is a player anticipates, as Worden does, and he's off to the races, and the player whose path is being stolen there holds him back, and that's what happened right on that one.
Conlon got them both cleanly. 8-point game, 1:45 to go first half.
St. John's needs one here to get this thing a little closer going in at halftime.
And Murdoch is called for a reach-in foul. First foul on Eric Murdoch. Greg Bent is going to check back in for Providence, and Marty Conlon goes to the bench.
Strong half by Conlon. He and Worden really neutralized each other out there, banging the boards and scoring at will at low post.
Jason Buchanan scored a basket early, has been quiet since.
It's another role player for Louis out there. He'll take the shot when he's open. Played point guard last year, so he's a good handler with the ball, kind of like Singleton, except Buchanan, of course, is out in the backcourt.
It's a 6-point game. Providence, the ball in the lead.
Defense intensifying somewhat by St. John's out of the man set. They're taking some of those cuts away that we've talked about by Providence.
20 on the shot clock as the Friars reset. Burton comes around. Got away with the walk. And a technical foul is called on the St. John's bench, Lou Carnesecca.
They had a case, too, when Quentin Burton caught that ball. Might as well have had a suitcase. Took a big step. And Louis just became enraged from the sideline.
Screen. Deadly, as we set at the line with his 12th point of the first half.
And Providence will get the ball, so it could be a big turnaround here. It could be a 4-point play or even a 5-point play if Providence can get a 3 to go down now.
All right, you be the judge. Let's see if we can spot.
Now on the handoff, watch it right there. Looks like he took an extra step after he caught the ball.
Screen. Little hoop-de-doo won't go down. Loose out of bounds, and Providence will keep it. And Louis just got hit with another tee.
Louis into this one tonight, isn't he?
He sure is.
Ball goes out off of St. John's. Louis getting the body English. Gets into his pretty good bowling form there.
I'm not sure why he got a technical foul.
Threw the ball out to the ref.
Unless the ref felt that he was being shown up by the play, that would have to be it. 15 now for Screen, a 10-point lead and the ball, and the Friars can take 45 of the final 49 seconds off the clock if they choose.
Louis clearly hot, but when you throw the ball out like that, if he threw it up in the stands, Mike, that'd be one thing. Don't delay a game when you get it right over to the ref, though. Providence can almost milk this thing down for the last shot now. A 4-second differential between game and shot clock.
And that's exactly what they intend to do.
I like this formation. A lot of teams used to go to just a traditional four-corner setup. Now, a double high post stack and let your ball handle go up top. He doesn't have to penetrate now with Harvey greater than 6 feet away from Screen.
10 now on the shot clock. Screen starts a move with 6. Murdoch comes up firing. Rebound to Seeley. St. John's has got to hurry.
Oh, my!
Had a chance.
Sure did.
We'll keep an eye on Lou Carnesecca, who is headed out to half court. Jim Burr is putting up the stop sign. We got an interesting one going here at Alumni Hall on the Saturday night. It's halftime, 43-33, back after these words from your local station. 43-33. Our halftime feature tonight, a look back at the 10 years of excellence here in the Big East Conference. If they're going to stay in the hunt here on.
It really is to stay up top, and also for Providence to get on a streak to get themselves into contention for NCAA play, because right now you've got Providence, Villanova, and Pittsburgh needing to make that kind of run, and teams at the top wanting to stay strong heading into tournament time.
Both Providence and Villanova feel if they can be 500 in league play, they will get that bid to the NCAA tournament. Time now to take a look at what's going on the women's side of the Big East. The officials.
That's right. Really got it going at the point, didn't he? Screen had an outstanding first half, and Marty Conlon was scoring well inside. Screen with some great penetrating moves.
Let's take a look at the stats from that first half, see if the numbers pretty much do tell the story. And Providence shooting the ball right from the get-go very well. 16 of 29, 55% shooting for the Friars. And St. John's struggling a bit. 3-point field goals, 2 of 4 for Providence College. And as we mentioned, Carlton Screen coming up big for the second time this week.
Really had an outstanding first half. A lot of confidence with the ball, handling it like he had glue on each hand with some of the between-the-leg moves, daring people sort of to take it away. This is a fine runner that he had for 2 of his 15, and inside they had good balance with Shamsuddin and Marty Conlon. Here's Conlon with a good up fake against Robert Wordan, and that was a 3-point play that he finished off with. But Robert Wordan, even though he was beaten that time defensively, had his way offensively as Conlon tried to play behind him. And Robert Wordan with a dozen in the first half. And Boo Harvey kind of quiet for most of the first half, but had a couple of fine moves. This time, a little razzle-dazzle under the goal for a couple of his points.
All right, second half action about to begin. Shamsuddin, Chris Watts, Marty Conlon, Carlton Screen, and Quentin Burton open up the second half for the Friars. Boo Harvey, Billy Singleton, Jason Buchanan, Malik Seeley, and Robert Wordan. And St. John's aggressive on the D causes a turnover to begin the second half. Carlton Screen with 15. Nobody in any foul trouble for Providence. Conlon also in double figures with 11. Wordan the leader with 12. He's got 3 fouls. He'll have to watch his step. Harvey then with 7.
Well, if Providence is unable in the second half to hold on to this lead, it'll be the first time after, you saw before, 9 times this year when they lead at half, they tend to win. So St. John's has their hands full. They need to get a good start to this second half.
Robert Wordan continues to be at the right place at the right time in double figures now with rebounds. That's a kick ball on Carlton Screen. Screen is really ready to play, you can tell.
He is. He's playing with a lot of confidence.
Got that look
in his eye, and he wants the ball. Feels he can do no wrong right now. It's a great feeling to have as a player, because a lot of other nights you feel, hey, just hoping some things will go right.
Won't roll down for Steely, but Singleton in traffic for 2.
Now Billy Singleton very strong, and that gets this lead by Providence into the single digits at 8. It's an important place for St. John's to keep it, try to chip away.
Dean wanted it inside, but Watts couldn't find the right angle to pass it in. Now Screen will reset the offense. Screen, that little skip step of his, tries to feed it across out of bounds, and Jimmy Burrows says it's still Providence Collins ball with 23 seconds on the shot clock.
Providence very basic. They want to have Screen at the top with the ball, and they run a 3-2 offense. They spread it around the three-point arc and 2 people inside.
Boo Harvey. Conlon's got an angle, and Screen comes from behind to knock it away.
That's great hustle that time by Screen, because Boo Harvey, he is so tough in the open floor. That was just good all-out hustle. Conlon here trying to go up against the speedy Harvey, and look at Screen just dive in there to say, hey, let's get it out of bounds and reset our defense. Good hustle.
St. John's looking to start the second half with a bit of a mini run. Seeley's pull up off the side of the glass.
Not going to do it with those kind of moves.
That shot had no shot. Screen. Double pump for 2.
Picking up where he left off in the first half. And the best part of Screen's game is he penetrates every time he gets the ball to either set people up or score. Boo Harvey's got to look to do more of the same here in the second half. Jason
Buchanan comes out, is short with the 3, but Singleton the follow and give the foul to Shamsuddin.
Again, nice alert move by Billy Singleton that time. Did not completely turn away from the ball. As a matter of fact, followed the flight of it, alertly picks it up. Shamsuddin there has either got to foul and not allow that goal, or go up a little bit more aggressively as he did in the first half to block that one.
Lou Carnesecca still working the officials.
The adrenaline is flowing tonight.
Nice play by Seeley as he slapped it to Worden, and then it went off Worden's foot out of bounds. And again, the crowd gets on the men in the striped shirts. That was a good call, though. They'd go off Worden's sneaker.
Crowd is alive now, as they got alive with Lou Carnesecca's late technical fouls to end the first half. Got 2 of them. They're into this one.
And the reach in to knock it away. 3-on-2 break. Seeley blocked by Burton, or make that Shamsuddin down low.
Big time block by Shamsuddin. Malik Seeley can get up.
Screen. Look at him handle it, and he's stripped by Harvey.
One too many that time in front of Boo.
Singleton gathers himself for 2.
Singleton getting it done.
6 points for Billy here in the second half, and it's a 6-point game, and the Friars want a timeout. Luke Carnesecca is happy again. 45-39 Friars. Hall, a tough place to win, as you can see. 86% record for St. John's in here. However, Providence College stopped the streak at 30-something a couple of years ago, and they're on the verge of stopping another one right now. 45-39. Still a ton of time, though. 17-15 to go in the game.
And St. John's has made a point here that they're going to be aggressive to start this second half, and drop the 10 down to 6 already.
Conlon, oh, nice underhanded scoop shot.
Conlon really having a strong game. Rebounding, and that time, fine offensive move.
Very important to convert off a timeout, too, when you call it like that. You don't wait for the TV timeout. Singleton nearly has it stripped. Now he turns around, faces the hoop. Seeley, good board, and a reach-in foul on Murdoch. Number 2 on Murdoch.
Billy Singleton very much involved in St. John's offense, whether it's shooting it or rebounding to start the second half. This time Burton does not do the job boxing out as Seeley gets in there. And Murdoch caught on the reach.
Lead stays at 8, 47-39, 16:48 to go.
Malik Seeley, kind of a quiet leader on this St. John's team, comes into the game leading the team in scoring, and it seems at the end of the game he's always got the points and rebounds, getting the job done.
Missed both free throws. Friars nearly lost it out of bounds, but Conlon retrieved it. Every time it looks like St. John's is going to mount a little bit of a run, they miss a couple of free throws, or the Friars hit a basket or 2 quickly.
And in the first half, this is where the Friars would catch right in.
Quentin Burton sure does. 7 now for Burton, back to a 10-point game. Buchanan got a step on Murdoch, can't kiss it home. Rebound, Singleton, a good hands. And Murdoch picks up another foul over the top. 3 now on Eric.
That's a situation for Murdoch to just set a trap down low rather than reach in and pick up another quick personal against Singleton around the basketball.
Boo Harvey comes to the ball, comes up firing, hits a 3.
Boo Harvey, no hesitation.
10 for Harvey. The lead back down to 7. Murdoch is stripped. Did Wardan touch it? Yes, he did.
And even if he didn't, I believe that St. John's took that one away from Eric Murdoch as he went up for the shot.
Green finds Conlon.
A lot of those drop-down passes by Providence, they're tough to defend.
Providence will keep possession as Singleton slapped it away. Rick Barnes pacing the sidelines, knows how important this game is to his team.
Singleton matching up too with Marty Conlon on the defensive end for St. John's, doing a pretty good job getting him away from the basket.
Conlon in and out. Wardan clears. Seeley on a wing, and he walked with it after he caught it. You're beginning to think it's one of those nights for St. John's
where they do a couple of things right, but they can't get 2 or 3 things in a row to go the right way.
Had a chance to get it down to 5 that trip. Now Providence looking to push it back to 9.
Settling a little bit more into a half-court pace here in the second half where you've got to execute with your offense.
Oh, Singleton again strips Conlon. Second time he's done it. Harvey threw it away on the break.
Looked like he got rid of that one. He's pointing to himself with Billy Singleton saying, hey, I made the mistake that time. Got rid of it just a step or two too quickly before he got in the foul line area.
Shamsuddin can't hit a turnaround, and here's the foul on.
Might be Wardan.
Nope, Billy Singleton picked it up.
Must have been away from the ball. I saw Shamsuddin go down. Thought it was a late whistle if it was on Wardan.
On a cut, Seeley the block to screen.
Nice recovery.
Bumps his way out of the pack, and the foul's going to go on screen, I believe.
It's a great recovery that time by Malik Seeley to help out. Screen popped in there. Luke Carnesecca continues to work things over from the sideline.
St. John's has had a ton of opportunities in the second half to tighten this game up. Harvey skips through and it won't go down. Conlon quickly to screen. Up ahead, Burton's got 2.
That's where Providence has looked quicker tonight. 2 or 3 times in the first half they did that, where they just beat St. John's down the floor.
Seeley's a little leaner, no. Conlon another board.
Oh, he looks stronger off the glass tonight.
Friars a chance to get it back to double digits. The runner goes down for Murdoch, and he'll go to the line.
Eric Murdoch getting into the act, and it seems that when Providence runs, Mike, they're having a lot of success. Louis going to want to talk it over as, again, St. John's caught out of position, not all of them getting back defensively, and I'm sure he'll talk about that one in the timeout.
It's an 11-point lead, and Providence College has got it. Cast is produced by authority of the Big East Conference and is intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Big East Conference is prohibited. Eric Murdoch stepping to the free throw line, looking to convert the three-point play and give the Friars maybe their biggest lead of the night. It'll be up to 12 if he makes it. Well, it stays at 11. 14-11 to go in the game, and St. John's needs to get something together here, Ronnie. You get the feeling that Providence is going to extend this lead.
Yeah, and I think Boo Harvey, he's been the guy that's taken over. Look for him to try to get something going for St. John's.
Murdoch just picked up his 4th foul, 3 of them here in the second half.
We might see Rick Barnes go to Chris Watts off the bench. Watts started this game.
You must have been a coach one time as Chris Watts checks into the game. And
or at least
when
a
you
player.
said that, he wasn't up off the bench, too, for the people at home. He really wasn't. Murdoch sits down.
Or at least a player, knowing when you get that extra foul, someone's going to come in for you. And Watts has played well.
Wordan in traffic, swings, the hook won't go. Shamsuddin cuffs the rebound. Singleton, though, took it away. Wordan's follow, no. And who they got for the foul?
I think it's Singleton
Yeah,
over the back.
So too.
That's a good example for St. John's where it just won't go down for them. They did everything here except get the ball to go in the basket. It went around every part of the rim, tip-in attempts, and finally Singleton with the headlock.
Friars by 11, looking for more.
St. John's has got to do it with their defense. They need a couple of stoppages, and they've got to get down and let Boo Harvey run the floor and convert.
Quentin Burton.
Here's a stoppage.
Those were some steps right there. Luke on a second, not saying a word. Providence kind of deceiving there, turning it over 15 times. And they got Marty Conlon with a push in the back. Conlon just his first personal foul, but it's the 6th on the team. And if this keeps up, St. John's may be able to at least get partially back in this game at the free throw line. One more, and St. John's will be shooting 1-1. The Redmen have only committed 3 fouls here in the second half. Boo Harvey sets for 3.
Rainbow.
Watts taking it away from Seeley. Screen now to set the offense.
That drop pass we talk about along the baseline. There it is again.
Shamsuddin's hook won't go. Singleton clears. Here comes Harvey.
It's a tough angle for that shot for Shamsuddin.
Finds Seeley. Takes it to the bucket, and it goes down. First basket of the second half from Malik.
And there's St. John's converting after the Providence miss.
Reach in, and they got Singleton for the foul. And Billy Singleton all of a sudden in Major League foul trouble with 5. And Sean Muto immediately up off the bench.
That's unfortunate, too, for St. John's because Singleton having a very strong second half as he's greeted by Luke Carnesecca.
Sean Muto, though, number 50, has played very well of late for St. John's, giving them some quality minutes, and Screen able to go into the backcourt to get that.
The problem would have been if he went and grabbed it just before it went over the midcourt line and then took it into the backcourt.
Screen back rims a pull-up. Chucky Sproling the rebound. Outlet to Harvey. The Redmen a chance to get to 7 here with 12.5 to play. Wordan is doubled immediately. Finds Sproling. Can't hit the 3. And the foul is going on Providence's Burton or Shamsuddin, one of the two. It'll be Shamsuddin picking up his 4th. And that pushes the Friars over the limit. So 12 minutes and 20 seconds of 1-and-1s are looking the Redmen right in the eye. Marvin Sadler is going to get up off the Providence College bench.
First time these two teams met, the last couple of minutes took about a half an hour to play as Providence was trailing and kept sending St. John's to the line. This game playing a little differently with Providence now in front, but still St. John's an opportunity to make some ground up from the charity stripe.
We may see the reverse happen too. Great numbers for Wordan tonight. Screen, however, comes up with a missed free throw. Long lead pass. Burton streaking again for 2. And that pass by Screen was right on the button.
He's got his head up at all times, and that gives players a lot of confidence to run the floor when you're with someone like Screen, that you might get it if you're open up ahead of the pack.
They go back to Wordan. His turnaround goes down.
Oh, he really looks good offensively. Nice soft touch as he squares up.
First basket of the second half gets it back to a 9-point deficit. Sadler comes high. Watts looking, finds Burt, gives it up to Screen. trying to create. Left-handed. Oh, if that one goes. And they've got Muto, I believe, with the foul.
Some kind of move. Watch this by Screen. He double pumps it and somehow gets it up over both Worden and Muto. And finally, Muto hacking Conlon on the way down.
5th foul on St. John's.
St. John's, where they're a team that does not extend generally into full court pressure, just has to clamp down out of the half-court step.
Conlon, nice up fake, and he knocks down the jumper.
Moves like that are not going to help their cause. That's a great up fake by Conlon.
Friars by 11. 11 minutes to go in the game.
And Boo can't get out and run with St. John's, with Providence continuously hitting their shots on the offensive end.
Scrolling, the pull-up shot is short. Conlon is there for another board. St. John's had hoped for some outside shooting all year long for Chucky Sproling, but it hasn't come.
His confidence, Mike, I think, is really shaken right now, where he's gotten limited minutes, and when he's been out there, he's pressing with the shot.
Barry Milhaven's going to make his first appearance in the game. And Malik Sealy will go out. So Lou Conaseco, very interesting lineup out there right now. Sproling and Harvey the guards. Muto, Worden, and Milhaven up front.
Well, he's got some of his offensive firepower on the bench now, particularly with Sealy. I thought that Milhaven would come in to Sproling.
Burton takes down the miss.
Ooh, Harvey and Worden are going to have to get the offense done for St. John's right now.
Screen again, the penetration, and traveled with it according to Jim Burke.
One of the few times tonight where Screen really did force the action. Didn't have much of an opening against Boo Harvey that time.
St. John's unable in the first 10 minutes of this second half to put together any kind of sustained run.
They looked good early. Singleton got a couple to get the thing down to 6, but Providence answered and it stayed pretty even since.
Worden, power move to the hoop. Rebound underneath, ripped off in there by Burton in traffic. And it's going to be St. John's ball in the alternating possession. Milhaven and Muto teaming up.
There's been some interesting calls, Mike. I thought that time an awful lot of contact against Burton, who got tied up under the basket.
Terrence Mullen has checked into the game for the first time tonight. Lou Conaseco continues to search for some sort of spark. Good look by Mullen, but the ball came loose. Screen on the break, and Carlton gets 2 more.
Another acrobatic job by Screen, where he shows a lot of quickness.
19 now for Carlton Screen. The Friars, their biggest lead of the night, 13. And the 45-second shot clock was not moving. And Ted Valentine spotted it. And now he's going to have them take a bunch of seconds off. They've got it down to about 38. Yeah, a little more. 37 seconds. The Friars continuing their hot shooting, and St. John's continuing their struggle.
That's pretty consistent with the numbers for the first half. St. John's really got to put a little run together right here.
Mullen in and out. Sealy's follow won't go, but Burton got him. Second foul on Quentin Burton will put Malik Sealy at the free throw line. Rick Barnes looking on, hoping his Providence College Friars can make it 2 in a row over top 25 clubs. We've got 9:25 to go here. Second half at Alumni Hall in Jamaica, New York, and Providence College has led all the way in this one, and they're up 59-46 as Sealy tries to edge the Redmen a little closer. Harvey has 10, Singleton 10, Worden 14, and Sealy looking for his 10th point tonight.
Nothing at all off the St. John's bench, though. I think that's why Lou Conaseco trying to see if he can get some kind of an offensive spark right now by maybe Terrence Mullen from the outside. Providence controlling the tempo, running when they have the opportunity and setting up when they don't. Run by Screen.
Watts finds Burton, and he walked with it.
Burton's just got to gather himself, trying to do things a little too quickly.
Providence not exactly getting lightning off their bench, but 6 is better than none. Malik puts it on the floor. The runner is short. And the call is late, and Watts got the foul. And there's Jason Williams trying to root on his teammates.
What a frustrating season for Jason. Misses all of December, comes back and plays about 10 games and goes back down on February 3rd against Georgetown at Madison Square Garden. So it's going to be a frustrating year for him with that stress fracture problem.
St. John's just 2 for 6 at the free throw line here in the second half. Again, opportunities that have slipped away for the Redmen. Malik Sealy's streak intact. Marty Conlon's going to come back in for Providence with some final instructions from Rick Barnes. And Abdul Shamsuddin will go to the bench. Nice solid effort by Shamsuddin tonight.
And he really has worked hard off the backboards. Along with Conlon, very aggressive in there. And that's an area where Providence has pretty much just been trying to hold their own this year.
Screen, the quick push. Friars get the ball to the offensive top of the key very quickly.
And you got a lot of time to work with.
Sealy nearly the pickoff.
Well, with 8.5 to go, I think the crowd senses it, that they think St. John's has got to chop this lead down somewhat. And I tend to agree, because Providence has made it tough to get it down much under 10 in this game.
Sadler nearly threw it away. Screen had to go up for the pass. Gave Sadler a nasty look.
Where it's so important, though, to have someone like a Screen to run the club, get everyone where they should be. Drew Harvey will do it at the other end.
Terrence Mullen called for the reach-in foul on Eric Murdoch. On Mullen, it'll be his first in the act of shooting. Murdoch will go to the free throw line.
That was a nice look inside. And Conlon, who, as we said earlier, can throw the pass very well for a low post player with a good bounce look, and Mullen on the arm.
Just the 5th point of the night for Eric Murdoch. That steals record of him will be attacked seriously by Nadav Hennefeld. Fine University of Connecticut freshman.
Racked him up this year. I think Hennefeld's second in the country in steals this year.
Sealy kicks it out to Harvey.
Mullen open on the weak side, but they're going to pound it in.
And it's sent back by Sadler, but Burton was getting Malik with the body, and he'll go back to the free throw line with 8:05 to go. Third foul on Burton as David Kane makes his first appearance of the night. Louis really trying to find something on that bench to light things up.
Just has not had the intensity level. They've been beaten to the basketball tonight. And then what happens is the shots start to not drop for you. I'm sure Boo Harvey will get just a very brief rest as Louis talks it over with Brian Mahoney on the bench. Sealy on a run now from the line.
9-point game. First time in about 5 minutes that St. John's has been able to get it back to single digits.
Providence has done a nice job in this second half to work it when they don't have the break. Take some time.
Burton comes up firing and hits a three.
Backbreaker that time by Burton. A lot of answers right now for Providence. They're spreading it out. A lot of different people scoring.
Burton with 14, a very solid 14 tonight. Sealy can't answer. Murdoch coming up with it on the baseline, and Sealy committed the foul. And Malik his second. And St. John's now over the limit. So Providence will be shooting a bunch of free throws for the next 7:28. Eric Murdoch making his way to the stripe as Rick Barnes talks it over with Carlton Screen.
Eric Murdoch, 1-1.
It seems to be as well the last couple of games as Providence has played together all season long. They've had some good individual efforts with different games, but it seems right now, at least from having seen the Georgetown game and what they've done to this point in the game, Rick Barnes' club is certainly in tune with each other out there.
Murdoch now has 8. We got a timeout. Just about 7.5 to go in the game. It's a 14-point lead back after these words from your local station. It's basketball. Here comes David Kane, the freshman, in the backcourt now with Terrence Mullen. Inside Worden. Spins in traffic. No. Tip, no. Underneath Seeley, no. But he'll go to the free throw line. Boo Harvey will be coming back in a minute. So will Darrell Aiken. Marvin Sadler picked up that foul, his second.
Louis is really trying to give his team a jolt. He's gone with everybody on the bench right now to just try to give them a couple of minutes out there to see if they can inject some life into St. John's for the stretch run here.
Malik getting a real workout at the free throw line. Darrell Aiken seeing his first minutes in a Big East game in a long time. Terrence Mullen already having his Big East minutes for the first time tonight. And there's a final. And the Villanova Wildcats keep their hopes alive. 71-68 over Pittsburgh.
A couple of close losses in a row for Pitt. They've been playing well late January into February. Tough loss to Connecticut, and now this one. Villanova parlays the big win against Syracuse at the Spectrum.
Seeley with 8 of his points coming from the free throw line. Missed both of those, but Eric Murdoch is called with a foul. Or is it Sadler?
I think it was Sadler.
Yeah, it was.
Providence foul on 55, Marvin Sadler.
3 on Marvin Sadler. And another free throw shooting contest is developing here. We just can't figure out what string to pull here tonight. Worden gets the roll. 15 points for Robert Worden, 12 of those in the first half tonight. Providence College bench looking to get out of here with a W, and they will head for the University of Connecticut to face the Red Hot Huskies on Monday night.
The new Gamble Pavilion.
Friars are going to take their time now.
Green better watch out for the 5 seconds there.
Murdoch comes up firing. Sadler, the tip. Loose ball to Murdoch. Over the screen. He penetrates. That double pump of his goes down.
Up over Worden. All kinds of confidence by Screen going into traffic to get it done.
21 now for Screen, and the lead is at 14 with 6.5 to go.
And Providence comes up with another big loose ball rebound at their end.
Singleton back in traffic, no. Right to Murdoch. Up the screen. Providence has got some numbers on this break if they want to convert. Murdoch buries the free throw jumper.
Murdoch, who wasn't sure if he wanted to run or not, got it to Screen, who took kind of a controlled break. Murdoch became the trailer, and again, Providence putting the biggest lead together, Mike, that I can remember.
It's been a big week for the Friars. Knocking off Georgetown on Wednesday night, coming in here against the nationally ranked Redmen, and winning going away, at least at this moment. Boo Harvey able to stem the tide momentarily, but it's still 70-56. A 14-point game with 5:40 to go.
Well, if St. John's has another run in him, it's got to come now. Time running out on him. Still plenty left, but down by this many with Providence now being patient. They're going to have to put a blitz together. One of the problems for St. John's trailing like this, Mike, is they're not a full court pressing team where you can get the spurt, maybe put together 8 or 10 points.
Good hands by Harvey there to get the loose ball. Boo pulls up and drills a three.
Boo Harvey doing what he can to bring back the Redmen.
15 for Harvey. But the Friars still by 11 as we crack the 5-minute mark. Threes can get you back in a game in a hurry. Offensive foul on Conlon.
No need for Providence to rush their offense in any way. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Sadler out and Shamsuddin back in.
A couple of mistakes in a row by the Friars, and we'll see if again St. John's can capitalize.
4:53 left to go. Screen with 21. Werdan with 16 to lead their respective clubs. St. John's down 11. And Harvey and Aiken in the backcourt.
This is where Boo Harvey will really try to take control of this game.
Wants a screen outside.
Calling for it.
Comes up again. Not this time. Murdoch comes hard for the board. Again, Luke Arnesecker on the officials looking for a traveling call.
Providence has got to be careful here to be patient, but don't try to milk it too soon, or what you end up doing is forgetting about going to the goal with it and turning it over.
On the shot clock. 4:09 to go in the game. Murdoch.
Not a good shot.
Seeley the rebound quickly to Aiken. Aiken up the left side. Finds Harvey. Werdan calling for it inside. Boo looks to penetrate. Got the bucket and a foul.
You had a feeling he was going to get that one to go down. He felt the contact. And Boo Harvey with a string of 7 points now for St. John's. A 2, a 3, and a 2 with a chance to make this one a 3 with a great individual effort.
Providence College about, 2 weeks ago, Ron, led Villanova by 17 with 7 minutes to go and lost in overtime. And that lead that was so big just a few moments ago is down to 8. 3:53 to go, and they're coming alive at Alumni Hall. It's an 8-point game. Trying to make a run, and Boo Harvey trying to lead the charge.
8 points in a row for the senior point guard for St. John's. Doing it all with the 3 here. He came back with an old-fashioned 3 the next time down, and Providence has become tentative with the basketball as St. John's goes to full court pressure. They've got to remain aggressive in their own front court.
Had a pretty good trap on Murdoch there, and Werdan let him go. Aiken is on Murdoch right now.
Free throws will still be big for Providence down the stretch in this one.
Murdoch back rims it. Shamsuddin, a big board, but then bricks it, and Burton comes down big with the ball.
That's a good move by Burton to just get the ball out and rework the 45. I'd have the ball in this man's hand, caught the screen as much as possible down the stretch in this game.
3 minutes, 20 seconds to go. 30 on the shot clock for Providence. St. John's has to be thinking about who they might want to foul. Shamsuddin would seem the likely candidate, but Providence not likely to give him the basketball.
Try keep the ball in the hands of Murdoch and screen as much as possible.
Seeley nearly got the steal. He got it. Malik for 2.
St. John's coming up with some big defensive plays, and in the pressure defense, a near steal.
But Aiken is called with the foul. And you see Louis' reaction to it.
Wow. So unusual. You see Rick Barnes hoping his team can keep their poise. That's the key for them down the stretch as St. John's puts on the all-out burst here at home. So unusual to see St. John's with that full court pressure, but they've got some pretty quick athletes out there with Aiken and Harvey and Seeley to get that kind of job done with the initial trapping.
Eric Murdoch will step to the free throw line. 2 minutes, 53 seconds to go in the game. Providence by 6. Make it 7.
That's a big one right there for Providence. He misses that. St. John's comes down, gets this thing down to a 3 or 4 point game.
Back to 8 again as Boo Harvey skips across half court. Aiken comes to the ball.
Boo Harvey trying to work off screens. I think he should control the ball as much as possible. Hey.
Darrell Aiken coming up big.
Yeah.
Very confident shot he took right there.
Really strong backcourt guy. Really got up off the ground that time. Now, this is probably the last time where St. John's can just let this 45 run down. Dan trying to foul there, maybe fake an offensive.
Friars have it in Screen's hands where they'd like it right now. Screen trying to go with 10 on the shot clock into Conlon. And Worden commits a foul with 8 seconds on the shot clock.
See there, if you're going to do that, do it with 38 seconds, not 8.
2 minutes and 1 second left to go in the game. David Kane is going to check in. Darrell Aiken will go out. St. John's 1 timeout left. Providence has 3. Not that Providence will want to stop the clock here. Conlon at the free throw line. Solid night for Marty.
So many games lately that we've seen, Mike, it seems that at the end, though, you've got to seal wins by putting some of these free throws together.
One of 2, and Kane comes down with the rebound. Off to Harvey. Boo, the pull-up. Got the 3!
Oh, money time!
All of a sudden, Harvey with 21. It's a 4-point game.
Give it to him in the crunch. He wants it.
Harvey's on Murdoch. Kane's on Screen.
Kane out there for defensive reasons. Looks like he's almost holding Screen away from the ball.
And Carlton Screen just turned to the official and said, "Hey, ref, he's holding me."
Can't get on a man any tighter than that. In his shirt. It's a good call. Kane was all over him, away from the ball, and then once he bumped into him.
Let's take a look.
Well, he was mugging him away from the ball, and here, hand checking. I guess that's been allowed in the game, but finally the body check. Kind of iffy, but the hands are on the side. I have to agree with that one.
Carlton Screen, the money free throw shooter for the Friars. 22 for Screen.
2 key guys really rising to the top here with Screen and Boo Harvey doing everything he can with the shots for St. John's. Look for Boo again. He's on fire for St. John's.
The lead is 6.
The big ones by Screen.
Singleton a screen outside. Now Aiken comes to the ball and gives it back up to Harvey.
The screen action for Harvey up top. He's going to launch it again.
Boo comes up firing, hits again.
Oh, he's on fire. Give it to him.
Oh, blocking foul is called. Harvey thought he had jumped in on time. And Lou is really upset.
Lou demonstrated what he did over there. He says, hey, he's in position. Went with it.
75-72 with 1:01 to go.
Ooh, Harvey, that was in your face time. He was covered on that one. Oh, my.
An 18-5 run by St. John's, but they're still 3 points shy with 61 seconds on the clock.
I think with about 5 to go, Providence said, hey, let's just work the clock bite. Less aggressive pushing the basketball. And St. John's has turned the momentum completely around.
Rebound Singleton. St. John's can tie the game.
Screen for Harvey again. He's going to let it go.
Wants the screen again from Singleton, and there's a foul on Murdoch. 50 seconds left. Number 5 on Murdoch.
Wow, this is really gut check time, especially for Providence, Mike. They have had a number of close losses, particularly early in the year, and then had the one very close win where they were able to win against Syracuse at the Carrier Dome. This is one that if it gets away from them is really going to haunt them with this furious run by St. John's.
Boo Harvey has been the man down the stretch. 25 for Boo.
He single-handedly, Mike, all of a sudden, he had 10 points at least midway through the second half, and then all of a sudden he's got himself 25.
It's a one-point game. And Providence wants a timeout. 75-74 with 50 seconds to go. Don't go away. 35 minutes. Providence College just dominated St. John's, but the Redmen have put together a heck of a run to come from 14 of 15 down to 75-74 with 50 seconds to go. It'll be Providence College ball. Luke Carnesecca going over the defense. St. John's has made 5 field goals and 5 free throws in a row. The run is 20-5.
Going to have the ball in Screen's hands as much as possible, and/or Murdoch down the stretch here for Providence.
You'd think they might go out and get Watts. Lost it. Chris Watts lost the ball out of bounds. And St. John's has the ball with 38 seconds and a chance for the lead. The only lead St. John's has had in this game was when the score was 2-0. Aiken, Seeley, Harvey, Singleton, and Werdan are on the floor for St. John's. Here comes Boo.
Just saw Screen talk to Murdoch, and Screen said, let's not foul. They're going to have to try. Once he gives it up, Harvey, Murdoch ought to work awfully hard to get it away from him, but he gets it right back.
Screen out on Aiken, who wants to give it and does to Boo.
I think they're going to try to hold for the win, Mike.
Singleton a screen outside. Harvey's got Shamsuddin in a switch.
He's going to let it go.
Here it comes. Short, loose, Aiken. Jump ball is called. It's Providence ball with 5 seconds to go.
Oh, major play inside by Providence. Boo Harvey came up short that time. First time in a long time he has.
Providence wants a timeout.
Darrell Aiken with that rebound, Mike. Did you see who got the rejection? Was it Conlon that got on the ball? Anyhow.
I don't know. Let's take a look if we can cue it up.
Great block inside. Boo Harvey comes up short, and this ball's going to bounce to number 5, Darrell Aiken, and there's a rejection inside. Looks like Burton, yeah.
Quentin Burton.
All ball. Ted Valentine with the call. Couple of nice angles for us to look at it. There it is, all ball. The jump call, and the possession arrow to Providence.
Quentin Burton coming up with the huge block.
But St. John's, what a furious comeback. Boo Harvey with the threes in a position to go up by 2 if he's to get that one to go down. Now, with 5 seconds left and Providence taking it out, look for St. John's to stay in that full court pressure. And if they can't get a steal, reach in immediately with whoever touches the basketball. Try to keep the clock at 5 or no less than 4 with enough time to come down. If there's a miss, to either win it or if it's made to try to tie it up, send it into overtime.
David Kane just checked into the St. John's lineup, perhaps specifically for that reason. Conlon, Watts, Murdoch, Screen, and Burton on the floor for the Friars. Let's see where Providence goes with the pass.
Well, we still got one timeout if he's in doubt. Got it in.
And there's the foul. Boo Harvey puts it on Eric Murdoch right away. 1 second goes off the clock.
Now, 4 seconds is enough time if you get it right to Harvey.
P.J. Carlissimo will tell you that, you know.
That's right. He hits the leaner in that game against the Hall with, what, 5 seconds to go. Sends the game into OT, and St. John's wins it in overtime. Huge free throws by Murdoch, and still enough time here for St. John's to get a shot off. And they're going to try to ice Murdoch with their last time out.
Murdoch 5 of 7 at the free throw line as Boo Harvey and the rest of the Redmen go back to their huddle.
Ooh, has this been a furious rally by St. John's?
Nothing comes easily in the Big East, that's for sure.
Really thought when Providence went up by 16 here in the second half, it was going to be awfully tough for St. John's, who does not press, but they went into some pressure. But I think out of their half-court defense, Mike, Providence really just stopped going to the goal, and they got a couple of steals. Boo got on fire. Crazier things have happened as this thing goes right down to the wire.
Well, elsewhere in the Big East, the Connecticut Huskies are back on top in a tie with Georgetown. Connecticut with an 89-67 win over Boston College tonight. So Connecticut now right there tied with Georgetown, and Connecticut and Providence College will meet on Monday night. The Villanova Wildcats, another team that feels they have a legitimate shot at the NCAAs, with a 71-68 win over Pittsburgh tonight. But the story here, Eric Murdoch will go to the free throw line. 4 seconds on the clock, 75-74 St. John's. And it's all in the hands of the 6'2 junior here. He makes them both. The best St. John's could hope for would be a miracle tie.
Well, Rick Barnes, I think, with a smart move here, he's going to get all of his players. I think he's going to keep Merton in the lane. I was going to say, get them all out of there, because you don't want any silly fouls down the stretch here. Big one by Murdoch.
2-point game.
St. John's just used up their last timeout, so you've got Providence with just one left. And all they want to do is retreat if Murdoch can make this.
It's a 3-point game.
Can't allow a 3-point shot. Providence, I think, called a quick timeout after the make to set up their defense.
Well, we'll take a quick timeout here. 77-74. Providence by 3. 74, the timeout called by Rick Barnes. Your thoughts there, Ron?
Well, number one, I think he wants to set up his defense. Offensively, I'd never call it there. I'd get it in and try to score in transition. But defensively, it gives you an advantage, I think, to set it up.
Do you foul?
I think that's a great strategy here. Rather than allow St. John's, their only chance here is a 3 to tie this thing up. Whoever catches it, just reach in.
Comes to Harvey.
On him here.
Boo is going to get a shot off. And it doesn't go at the buzzer.
What a game. What a finish. St. John's gave them, Providence, everything they could handle as Carnesecca and Barnes shake it off at half court.
77-74, the final score. The Providence College Friars keeping their postseason hopes alive, and now 14-8 and 7-6 in Big East play as they head for Connecticut on Monday night. Our player of the game, the point guard for the Providence College Friars, Carlton Screen, unofficially with 23 points and just a super floor game for the second game in a row. Carlton Screen coming up big for the Friars. Along with Ron Perry, this is Mike Gorman. Once again, the final score, 77-74. Providence wins it. The preceding has been a Big East Conference Television Network production.